What's up, everybody? It's about 1:07 in the morning. It's usual day, pretty good. This morning I woke up pretty freaking early and went out, and I just happened to meet my neighbor, and we just decided to play chess in my backyard for like an hour, and then we just talked and hung out and talked about the books that we were working on and dreams that we have, and it was just a really good time. It was just nice to just talk. He's a good guy. I like him. Then a secret thing happened that I'm not going to tell you about because you'll find out later, and that's all you're going to get. Went to work, worked, came home. Construction Stories, it's good stuff, and it really focuses on the characteristics of the people around me and how they work together and go back and forth. And it's nice when new pieces get thrown in the mix, because otherwise it's the same type of chemistry. And today, a coworker and I went into a pontoon to do some work, and there were some iron workers in there, which are just freaking ridiculous because they're super loud and super just crazy, and it's just really fun to hang out with them. And I'm talking to my coworker the way that I usually do, and they hear it, and they're like, "Hey, you watch your mouth," and I'm like, "Oh man," and it was just really funny. And so there's this guy who's third highest in charge of the project, right? And he's in the pontoon in the cell that we're in, and my coworker is talking to the iron workers, and I'm like, "Dude, shut up and listen to your boss," because our foreman was there too, and he was talking to the really high up guy and figuring out what to do. And so I'm like, "Dude, shut up." And they're like, hey to me, because I told her to shut up and listen to the boss. And then the other guy, the dude who's super important, he starts to talk, and then the iron worker's like, "Hey, you heard him, shut up and listen to the boss." And he's like, and then he left the pontoon. And it was just so funny because these guys are just dicks. It's so funny because they're literally just being jerks, just to be jerks and see how you react. And it's not even the "Oh, I'll mess around until it gets kind of serious and then I'll stop." It's they know there are consequences, but they're just being jerks, and it's the funniest thing ever because they just won't stop. And if you show weakness, they'll pounce on you and they'll eat you alive. And so I was working right across from one of them, "Hey, what do I got to do to be an iron worker?" He's like, "Dude, you don't want to be an iron worker." He flat out dropped his whole facade and just told me flat out. He's like, "No, you don't want it." And I was like, "Oh, well, okay." And he's this black guy, 30 or 40 years old, and pretty fit and loud and stuff. But it was just weird how he instantly just stopped and was like, "No." And it's because of how demanding it is on your body. And I can see that, but I don't know. I'm still in my young stage, in my young man dreamer mode that I hope to never get out of. And so I want to do stuff. But I asked him, he goes, "Well, if you do want to be an iron worker, first thing you got to do is grow a pair of balls." And I'm like, "Sir." And second thing you got to do is wait for them to drop. And I'm like, "But." Third thing you got to do is get your first DUI under your belt. I'm like, "I don't even drink. How is that going to happen?" And then they just kind of went off, and it was just funny. Just fun time talking to those guys. And then later on, we were all picking wire. We started discussing music and stuff, and that was fun. System of a Down, if you know, they're pretty crazy. Good stuff. And yeah. So I'm honestly tired and thirsty and hungry, so I'm going to go make some pizza. And I have a weird thing on my lip right now, but I'm going to go make some pizza and go to sleep. It's going to be great. Read some fairy tales. You know me. And yeah, that's about it. So, tell me, are you any good at chess?